a traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're here. I don't know. Don't yell.
Don't yell.
It's the pumpkin spice latte. What's up, everybody? It's This Week in Zoltan, episode 391, and it's been fall for a couple weeks. And we were actually going to do this 2 episodes ago. We're like, why don't we go get pumpkin spice lattes, and we'll ring in the fall. And then we just drank them and never talked about it. So this time around, we got a third pumpkin spice latte for Big Man Mike over there, who... oddly enough, loves pumpkin spice latte.
It's the girliest thing about... Well, that's not true. But it is one of the girly things about
It's
me.
part of our feminine side.
Yeah.
Cheers to the fall.
Pumpkin spice.
Wearing coats, and the leaves are changing. The dogs are smiling. We get to cover the mole on our arm with the hair coming out of it with a little extra sleeve. This is average person summer is what the fall is. You get to look a little baggy. You put a sweater on. People are like, is he fat? Is he a power lifter? Nobody knows. You can't tell. You're like, is he in cutting mode, getting ready for a lift? I love the fall. I'm a big fan of the fall. You're a big fan of the fall.
I don't like that it's so basic, though. Like,
it is.
Basic bees like it.
It's basic Christmas.
Yeah.
You're like, you get a cornucopia of just pumpkins and costumes, and there is a downside to the fall, which is chapped lips. My face is dry. My butthole has never been this dry in its entirety. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with my butt, but like I've given up on it. Like, if my body was a city, that's a neighborhood we don't even police anymore.
Your butt is Flint, Michigan?
Yes.
Just no... It's just dry.
Yeah, dude, the plumbing needs to be replaced.
You didn't want to wait like 10 minutes. You wanted to get right into it from the start.
I just, because we were talking about the positives of the fall, and then I realized the negatives. I am so dry, and...
I don't want to tell you about your biology, but it ain't the fall that's making your butthole dry.
What
I don't know
is it?
what is it?
It's been 68 degrees. It's not the fall. It's something else.
Yeah, I
Go
don't
to the
know.
doctor is what I'm suggesting.
I don't know what it is. My pH level's off back there.
Is it
That's all.
every year this happens?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a doctor
It's just
question.
a seasonal, because you walk and then your butt's doing this down there, and then every once in a while it's forest fire season, and you're like, this is when we fire.
You're the walking answer to the age-old question. What's got this guy's ass chapped? It's the temperature, actually, it turns out. The fall.
This is the time of year. I grew up as a chubby little boy, and I used to have to slather Vaseline on my inner thighs.
Sure.
Because this was the time of year where, like, maybe you're still wearing shorts, you walk a little, you're a little chubby, you get sweaty, you get moist, and then the cool, dry air whips up your pant legs. Mm-hmm. And now that sweaty dryness right in the middle of your inner thighs, now it starts rubbing, starting a little fire. And now you start doing like an Elvis walk where your legs are wide because you don't want your little thighs to rub together. And then you go home and you're like, Mommy, my thighs are on fire. And then you go, and then she's like, oh, slather you up with some Vaseline. You'll be good. Grease the skids. Oh man, I never feel so much judgment than right here in this seat. This is like honest therapy, where a therapist isn't allowed to give their opinion too much. It's more like, how does that make you feel? You guys are like, more like, well, we're going to tell you how you should feel about it.
I wonder if a therapist ever heard something like that and their response was, all right.
All right.
I was a compression short kid. As a chubby little kid, I wore compression shorts.
Like workout undershorts?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that would prevent my thighs from
rubbing.
Because that was a big deal for me, too.
That's why I was never a boxer guy. Because, the big difference, boxers and briefs. But if you have stick legs, you can wear boxers because everything's just flowing. You're just a retired man in a Hawaiian shirt on the beach. Like, you're doing great. But if you got thicker thighs, there's a lot of cooking. There's a lot of amalgamations. There's moisture. There's dryness. There's hairs, and it's just a wet hammock down there.
But with good picture you painted for us there.
Yeah, it's like you ever microwave a burrito, and you're like the ice from the freezer still on there, so it's just a mess. It spills out the sides, burns your mouth. I don't know if that last one works, but that's kind of what happens with boxers. For me, they work for a lot of people, but I'm a boxer brief man.
There's refried beans blowing out one end. I'm talking about the burrito.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure we were still on the same page with that one.
Well, which one? But yeah, that's what my southern border feels like. It just feels like like the locals had voted out the police. It's a bad school district. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah. There's a never mind. I was going to get real political here. And I chose not to.
Listen.
Safe journal, folks.
Welcome to the show. This is episode 391. Emma's back in the hot seat.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Nice little week off, a little vacay from the old pod.
All the hard work.
From the hard work. But your sighs were missed last week, as you could tell in the comments, because you're like, we got onto a couple deep cuts of conversation that I'm sure no one was interested
Yeah, there's
in.
a lot of commenting about my size, which I didn't realize I do.
You didn't realize that?
We threw a few in your absence. Yeah.
Or like, I feel like there would be one now. And then we added it in. But we're glad to have you back in studio. Big man Mike, rocking the ones and twos.
Sipping my
PLS.
pumpkin latte spice.
Pumpkin PSL.
Yeah. Either way, I'm enjoying it. It's already almost gone. I've chugged. I'm trying to go slow now.
You know what I like about pumpkin spice lattes is it never comes out burn your mouth hot.
No.
Because the whipped cream cools it down. Probably the thick sugary syrup that they pump in there, that cools it down. And you can drink it right away, as opposed to an Americano, which you got to come back to tomorrow and be like, oh, I think I can sip on this Americano now.
Every time I put coffee in like a thermal mug, I go, why am I doing this? It's going to take me an hour to have a sip. 1,600 miles down the road, I can finally take my first sip of coffee. Scorching.
Every time
I feel like a 10-year-old who ran a mile without his compression shorts on in my mouth. It's on fire.
1 star.
This guy's mouth is never going to talk to a girl. Or what?
1 star review. My mouth feels like my inner thighs when I was a youth. And you're like, what? That must have tasted horrible.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah. I forgot what I was about to say. But we're here, and I was about to say we're queer, but also not that.
Drinking pumpkin spice lattes.
Drinking pumpkin spice lattes. I found out that you were in a horror movie. We're going to add to the lore of Mike. You posted a reel of an interview post-movie that you're doing to promote the movie, where you didn't know the synopsis of the movie.
No, I didn't.
Which makes me wonder how much of a, when did you film this?
A year or two ago.
What's it called?
Blood Mountain Massacre.
Blood Mountain Massacre.
It's available now on Amazon Prime,
BMM.
I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
And there's like a horror movie thing you can get it on too if you're like a big horror movie, like Fangoria. That's what it's called.
Fangoria.
Who's your character?
I am. It's about a band who, like, this all-female punk band, and they're being kind of like stalked by this crazy killer guy, and I'm their like rabid fan that like goes to all their shows, but I'm like the creepy guy that's always like hanging in the back, always buying all their merch, thinking I'm friends with them, but they're just kind of like this creepy Gary guy. And then that's me. Yeah.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Thank you. It was a real stretch.
And this is on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon now and Fangoria. Yeah,
we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
It's all shot like an 8mm. Like, it's a very like kind of like
That's awesome.
old school way of shooting a film, and it's very like I don't know the term that they would use, but it's very like first person. It's not. You'll see when you watch it. You're like, oh, it's like sounds great, looks great, but it's very like home video style.
Is it like Blair Witch Project?
Kind of, but not like that style. It's very much like extra gory for like the fun of it.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
It's really cool.
Comedy
Tons
horror.
of blood. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. A lot of drugs.
The drugs.
Yeah, and I'll show you a
Yes.
video I shot while they were shooting a death scene. I took a video while they were shooting it. It was pretty wild. Everything's practical. There's no special effects, like as far as the blood or cutting or anything. It's all just like gallons of fake blood being blown everywhere. It was really fun. Yeah.
That's
It was a really
so
good
fun.
time. Yeah, Blood
That
Mountain
is so
Massacre.
fun. You're so cool, Mike.
Yeah.
I know. Or
You're like Nathan Lane, like as far as you're.
I'm a gay man on the Upper West Side.
I just mean like you're. What do they call that? Range. You have range from podcasting to stand up. horror actor. Like
I'll
you look
take
at
it.
Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane's character in the Menendez Brothers is an
I gotta start
amazingly
watching.
dramatic character of I think he's a journalist whose daughter dies, super emotional. And I looked at Emma, I was like, that's Timon from Nathan Lane can play Timon to the character from Menendez Brothers and everything in between.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, buddy.
Buddy, you're a good kid. I like it. I'll take it all day. Feels good. Pumpkin spice latte and some compliments.
Dude.
Mets are going to win tonight. Just off of that.
Did someone slip a microdose in here? I am so positive on life.
It's great. I'm into
I think it's
it.
because we woke up early. We had a full night's sleep. We got coffee. We walked the park. I was able to take a number 2. I made breakfast. I've read a chapter, you know.
Was able to number 2. Couldn't wipe.
Blasted the bidet up there.
Sure.
3/4 strength.
Oh, you know what? You're not supposed to put bleach in the bidet.
Oh, is that what's doing
That
it?
might be doing it.
Yeah,
You putting Frank's Red Hot in the bidet?
I don't know what to add to that, but yeah, I shouldn't do
You
that.
also shouldn't blast it too hard.
I didn't. I went 3/4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like the captain of the Titanic. Remember we was doing this thing? He's like, full power on the left-hand jets. I was like, 3/4. Let's just get the dirt off it.
Look, we're going to hit this iceberg one way or the other, so let's just ease into it. The iceberg is your butthole. Just in this reference, I just want to make sure that we're clear.
Before I ran to the toilet, that guy in the crow's nest. we got a brown iceberg dead ahead, and I'm like, dear God. And then we sat down.
We got a dirty iceberg. Full steam below.
Oh, we heckle each other because we're never, I don't know what's up with each other, but we're never like extremely regular. We're either very dry or we're flowing, and we're never on the same page. So I'm like, I gotta go, and she just sees me grab my book and run in there, and she's like, good, must be nice.
Hey, it's private information.
Cool. I get that one too because I'm more regular. I run to the bathroom like, oh, look at you.
Yeah, we do that too.
I'll have to text sometimes. I'll text her I'm like a block out. I'm like, if you're in the bathroom, wrap it up. 'Cause I'm coming in hot. I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't know if it's age hitting 40, but I have 0-second warnings now. It used to be like back in the day, I could be like, 10 minutes, I should probably make this happen. But I'm just like, hey, everything's oh no. Like I have immediate needs. To the point where, well, look, this is TMI. We're having a good time. I was doing a stream for Bone to Pick last night, and there was a moment where I had to pop up on screen to say something, and I was in the bathroom. I was like, I have no choice. I was in the kitchen having a good time. Then I was like, I gotta go, boys. Didn't say anything, and I was in the bathroom streaming and streaming.
And stream.
It was a real John Doerr of me.
You know, there's gonna be the bathroom podcast where it's just 3 guys teary-eyed on a commode. Just
This podcast is shitty.
Yeah, just doing Lamaze breathing.
Clever name and actor.
Well, this is how we started.
is a fun time.
Is that the first sigh of the episode?
I actually enjoyed this one.
Yeah, there must be some LSD in this coffee. I'm having a good time.
We're in too good of a mood. This is a great ad for Starbucks. Hey, are you having just a regular day? Are you about to have a better day? Starbucks. Go over there and buy stuff. I don't like the people that linger there. Has there ever been a business meeting that took place at a Starbucks that led to a successful business? Because we were watching people having business meetings down there, and I doubt those were Fortune 500 companies.
No.
I think it was a lot of like, so no, we print the stickers in China, but we sell them here.
Yeah?
That's kind of what we're doing.
You just look over on the screen. There's like 15 people on the screen. We're like, wow, good job, folks. You just nailed it.
There's a guy in front of us at Starbucks who's on a Zoom meeting, and he couldn't look up from the meeting.
I think meeting might be a stretch, but go ahead.
Yeah.
A Zoom call.
He was on a Zoom call, and I'm like, you're on, like, how much can you be paying attention when you're giving your extravagant Starbucks order? And he picked, like, random things. He grabbed a chocolate milk, from the first thing, and then he got a thing. What was the little thing he
It
got?
was guac.
He got a side of guac, and he has chocolate milk, and I'm like, you're not paying attention to your order. There's no way you're paying attention to this meeting. Like, there is a level of being so, I'm multitasking. You are not giving enough brain power to either activity right now.
Was it one of those like plastic play school computers? Was there anything on the screen?
His phone.
Because the guy having chocolate milk and guac, I don't think he's having a meeting. He's calling his parole officer.
It's like an alien from outer space trying to act human. I'm like, this is what people eat and drink.
It's like when the Post does that bagel order for all the governor or mayoral candidates. And like, these people they're not humans. I like a raisin bagel and lox. Okay, shoot this person. Shoot this person in the streets. I like an onion bagel with capers and chives. It's too much onion, man. Knock it off with the onions.
Your assistants hate you. Come on in, let me tell you some inner secrets. You know, what was?
I have something to tell you. No, you don't. I have something to tell you. Your breath stinks. I apologize. I'll shut up now.
What was J.D. Vance, the vice presidential candidate? He went to Philly like a month ago, and he messed up the Philly cheesesteak order. He asked for something dumb. I think because he had never been to Philly, so he had never but now he's on camera. And I think he asked for like the wrong type of cheese.
He asked for Swiss cheese
on his Philly cheesesteak.
on his Philly cheesesteak, which is just, I don't understand how these people don't have someone in their team to go, here's what you do.
Yes.
And just do that.
That's their fault. Because also, as much as I'd like to pick on him for that, I would also make that same mistake if the camera's on me and it's my first time in Maine and they're like, what do you want? What kind of chowder do you want? And I'm like, what's in that? And that clip goes viral. This idiot doesn't know what's in chowder, and he's trying to be president. And I'm like, what does that have to do with president?
Apparently, the clip was chopped up, and he asked why they don't have Swiss cheese, and he said, I don't like Swiss cheese. I'm just curious why is that not a thing? And I guess it got cut to the point of him saying it looked like he was asking for Swiss cheese, which made him look stupid. But I'm here for that. They talk about misinformation. As long as it goes my way,
as long as it lines up with my ideology, I'm all for it, man.
Although he was at Pat's Cheesesteak in Center City, Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure those people were pumped to see J.D. Vance. He could ask for baby blood, and they'd have been like, "We're coming right up, dude."
Here, my only knock. Now I know we don't do politics on this show that much, but my only knock on J.D. Vance is I watched his movie, and I didn't like that guy.
Yeah,
and it was because I watched him sit in a meeting, like he was trying to get an internship and all. Remember that scene and those higher up hoodly-doos where like he kept quoting his mother because he's really proud of his mother, even though she has like a drug addiction in the movie. I'm guessing in real life too. It's based on his book. And the guy said something snooty like, maybe we should consider your mother for the internship. And you're from Appalachian Mountains. That guy just disrespected your mother, and you're not flipping the desk over and tying him out with choking him out with his tie, you know? I wouldn't, you see me put up with less. I mean, I would never do that. I would go, hee, and then after we'd leave, I'd be like, I hope that guy dies in a ditch. I'll never talk to him again. Like, hold a grudge, dude. Like, the fact that he overlooked all of that to move his own career and life forward made me not like him.
Yeah, there's something maniacal about that.
Yeah.
There's something behind that.
Like, I grew up very proud of Daryl Jones, my buddy Jason's dad, who I talk about in Honorary Jones. And he would punch as many people in the face to no matter what the detriment to his life and career would be. He's like, well, this is where we are now. Like when he got pulled over by the cops and the cop thought he acted like a tough guy. And he's like, what, do you want to fight? And he's like, yeah, we can fight. And he's like, you better call more cops. And then they did. And then he fought him and he got arrested and thrown in jail.
Sure.
But I respect that as opposed to the person going, no, I'm okay now.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
That kind of didn't make good sense. I guess you wouldn't want Daryl being vice president. But at the same, I don't know.
It could be good to have someone, a fist fighter, a street fighter in the Oval Office.
Yeah, maybe that isn't good. Because then he's going to want to go into every war going, yeah. What's that? You're away? We'll meet you at your borders,
Just
dude.
picking fights. Puerto Rico? Buddy, they're us.
They're us.
Jesus.
We have 50 stars. Which one's them?
The red, white, and blue, man. Puerto Rico, I don't know. They're brown. All right, forget it.
What'd you think of that movie? We watched it.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
I liked Meemaw.
Yeah.
Meemaw, who Glenn Close, who looked like Beavis, even though no one saw it.
Oh yeah. Very much.
It looked just like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. But yeah. Anyway, that's old JD Vance. We're getting down to the wire. Everyone's asking for money. Apparently, that's what it takes to be president. Email lists and donation videos on my YouTube.
Lots, so
much.
I got a call from Donald J. Trump yesterday.
He called you?
I got a call that said Donald J. Trump on the ID.
Wow.
And it said, please hold for the live audio town hall with President Trump.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow, click.
Whoa.
I hung up immediately. I was like, you're not going to get me, scammers.
That means they think you're on the fence.
Do you think so?
I assume that every video I get means that that's what the algorithm of ads thinks that I'm into.
Well, this was a phone call.
Yeah, but it's kind of tied in.
Maybe so, because I do talk a lot of nonsense over text. Like I'll do jokes about like, well, this is why I'm voting for so and so, and then maybe they're like, oh, well, he's voting for that person. Yeah.
And then that's how you fall in. Like my YouTube, I guess it means I'm in the middle politically because I get both Kamala Harris ads and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, they must think I'm like in the middle.
I think it's safe to assume they know.
It is safe to assume that. But then why do I get ads for women's workout leggings? Because then I get that. And I'm like, do you know something about me that I don't know about me?
You don't know that you like that.
But to buy? Like you're wasting your ad.
They're selling you views, buddy.
Yeah,
they're not selling you leggings.
Their videos.
Well, that's bad for the company that's spending. That'd be like if you know how we do my comedy ads, and they showed my videos to people that love leaving hate comments.
It's true.
Like that person's not going to buy a ticket. You're wasting my ad money on Bill from Idaho calling me a simp for saying that I'm an anxious fella. You know,
maybe it's because both of you like watching legging videos. You and Bill out here with the same likes. It's a matter of how long you watch the video. So if you're watching those legging videos a little too long, they're going to throw them at you.
They throw me a lot. It's not even. It's sometimes not even like an attractiveness thing. They'll be like cookbooks and stuff. I don't know. There are times like when you and I go eat at a restaurant, and the server never guesses whose plate's for who because I order more feminine and you order more masculine. Be like steak and whiskey, and I'll be like, that's for her.
Cup of ice chips. That'll be mine. Thank you.
Ice chips.
I
don't know what women eat. Plate of bird food.
I have a milkshake and a garden salad. Like, that's for me.
Oh, I got a cup of water and some dishwashing gloves. I don't know how women.
Wow.
Come on, we're just building a pyramid here. Let's find the top of it.
Find the top of the sexist
Trying to find
joke.
a sexist joke.
I read an article. I didn't read it. I started it, and then isn't that how most people should say that? I saw the title to an article, and then I read the first sentence and realized there was more, and I stopped. The first woman that ran for president that was officially on the ticket was 150 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I read that this morning in the Times. 1870 something or 1860. This woman ran, and I'm like, can you imagine? They weren't even allowed to vote.
The Equal Rights Party of 1872.
That's
Victoria
crazy.
Woodhull.
How was it legal for her to run for president, but women couldn't vote then?
You know what?
What an
Just figure out a reason to make a time machine. Go back and tell her, hey, knock it off, lady.
That's amazing. I mean, good
so
for
crazy.
her for trying and getting nominated by her party, but it's like, can you imagine?
Well, it was the women's suffrage movement, the Equal Rights Party. So it was definitely.
What year did they get women were allowed to vote? Wasn't it like the teens, 1910, 18?
Well, I know this because as a male feminist, I know this without having to type it. And the 19th Amendment was passed in 1920, obviously. We all know that.
1920. I was close.
What'd you say?
I said like 1910s.
Yeah, 1920.
Yeah, 1920. And I only know that, embarrassingly enough, because of the show Boardwalk Empire. Because that was the opening scene. It was the women's suffrage movement. They had just gotten the right to vote, yada, yada. And then Nucky Thompson was given a speech in the beginning. But speaking of which, Orny Adams had a great joke about the women being allowed to vote. He's like, they had to vote on allowing women to vote. How did we lose that vote? Which is
Such a great bit.
It's such a great, very short joke. But
Orny bought me a belt once.
he bought you a belt?
We were working in Philly together, and he went to go buy a belt, and he goes, "You need a belt?" I was like, "I'll take a belt." And we bought belts.
Wow.
He's got one of my favorite bits, too. We don't have to do it, though.
No, he's great.
It's a great bit, yeah. We'll talk about it later.
That documentary comedian
Destroyed
did him dirty.
Yeah. I mean, he is nuts. Let's not get...
He is crazy.
Yeah, but he's so funny.
He's very funny. He destroys this guy.
Is this the guy that's in Crashing?
No. Is he in Crashing?
I don't know. I
No,
don't
he's
think
not in
so.
Crashing.
He was in Teen Wolf, the MTV
He's in
show.
Teen Wolf, which I don't think you've watched. I know I haven't
Safe to
watched.
assume I haven't seen most things.
No, you watch like you've watched every episode of Silicon Valley, and I've watched none of it.
That's true.
And then you've watched a lot more Always Sunny than I have. So you have some deep cuts here. What's that show with the big hat you were always watching? Emily in Paris?
Oh, that's a background show for when I'm like cleaning.
You said it's a terrible show and they just keep giving it
horrible.
seasons.
Yeah.
Oh. You watch Emily in Paris, Mike?
I do not.
Yeah.
I don't.
Every time I look over and the show's on, it's almost like they're running a sketch on me to see if I notice that her hat's getting bigger in every scene. I swear to you, like the first time I saw it, she's wearing like a bowler hat, and then slowly every scene it gets bigger.
That's so good.
Until I'm like, is that like a gag in the show where they're trying to get people to notice that her hat is comedically big?
Emily can't get through the door. Season 3.
It reminds me of the Norm Macdonald sketch where he's Burt Reynolds on Jeopardy. He's like, big hat. Get a big hat.
That's another good one.
Love it. But yeah, I had a very nice. This is me. We haven't done the Safe Journal pitch. I am so sorry. Have you been here itchy going, when the hell are they going to pitch
I
my
forgot, actually.
Safe Journal? We actually brought it in this time. We didn't have to do the graphic where I hold it up here.
It's a good graphic, though.
It was great. I watched it and I was like, that was perfect.
You nailed the hand.
I felt like I was on the morning news.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
yeah,
That's cool.
like
And then
it's a
Hurricane
cold
Helena
front.
will be here also. So write that down in your new book.
Safe Journal, safejournal.co, 25% off at checkout if you type in TWIZ. You also get a handwritten note. It's the holiday season, everybody. This is a time where everyone's either happy or sad. We're kind of in between, and no matter what you're feeling, you should probably talk about it. And if no one wants to listen, you should talk about it in your Safe Journal. Actually, I'm going to take that back because that was a bad pitch. You should write down your feelings in the journal. That will get you to understand yourself better. And then when you share your feelings with someone else, they'll appreciate how more concise your rambling thoughts are.
I like that.
Safe Journal, safejournal.co. All right. I'm so jacked up on this thing. I'm having the time of my life here. Because sometimes coffee makes me panic. Sometimes I'm
spice
there
latte
going,
can't do that to
yeah.
I have pumpkin spice yogurt. I have pumpkin spice creamer that I
you
make.
joking?
No, I love it.
Oh my god.
I love pumpkin spice.
I like pumpkin spice candles.
A nice
Yeah.
hood. Oh, yeah. Pumpkin candle, cinnamon candle, and a pumpkin candle, and then a vanilla candle somewhere else around the room. Then you put a wood burning
Vanilla
candle.
candles are great.
Yeah.
Are you a huge pumpkin pie fan in general?
Yes, but I don't eat it as much as I look. I don't eat as much as I probably would like to, but I just, everything else pumpkin. Because you got to make it, and like I don't trust what they're doing in the bakeries.
Really?
But I eat pumpkin. I had pumpkin ice cream
Oh, good
this
Lord.
week. Yeah, I'm all in.
Because I'm the type of guy, like, I like pumpkin pie cold out of the fridge in the morning, and I eat it like a slice of pizza, like a hungover drunk.
For
and,
sure.
Yeah, nom, nom. And then she comes in and she goes, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "What?" You know, I've noticed that like you sometimes judge what I plow in the kitchen, so I do it quickly while you're doing other things. Like yesterday, I didn't tell you this, but you were in the bedroom, and one of the cheeses we got, like one side wasn't wrapped properly, so it got all hard. And I was like, "Well, I'll eat the good side." And I just kept shaving off slices, and then I realized I'm just there shirtless eating cheese. And then I'm like, "You're gonna come in any second," so I was like, quickly. Blah, 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 blah. And then I came in. I'm like, "Hey, are you hungry? I'm kind of hungry."
I haven't eaten in ages.
I wasn't plowing cheese nude. I'll tell you that. That's not what was going on.
It's nothing worse when they sneak up on you while you're doing something, eating something you shouldn't, and then you look up. Whoops. My bad. I do know these were your leftovers, and I apologize.
There's no worse decisions I make food-wise than when I'm starving. I'll just be like protein bar and chips, and you're like, yeah. So I'm eating barbecue-style Lay's and then eating a protein bar and then ordering something on Uber Eats to show up later.
Chocolate milk and guacamole.
Yeah, that's what that guy was doing.
The guy was just hungry and
Yeah,
confused.
he's like, here and here. But anyway, I had a great weekend. Thank you, everyone who came out to the Mall of America, Bloomington, Minnesota. Went out there. That was fun. Have you ever performed at a mall?
Yeah.
Then you walk around the mall.
Pick a funny bone, yeah.
Yes.
They're all malls.
Yeah.
I love it, because we don't have malls here
We don't.
in New York. So I love a good mall walk.
It was excellent. I went into the Levi's store and just classic. You know, anytime, it doesn't matter what size I am, there's a parade of those men going to these stores before I show up, and they buy all that size. I'm a medium now, and but it didn't matter when I was a large. They were all just like, oh, is that the one you wanted? They're gone. There's 8,000 larges if you were only heavier, and also even more smalls if you were lighter somehow. But yeah, I went in to get I got a new denim jacket, and I had to talk. I realized the public service that we do. Oh,
Just let it go.
I can't.
There are mushrooms in this coffee. There's nothing in the sky. What the hell just happened?
Did you see that fluke?
Nobody saw that fluke.
Really? That didn't come up on the 8K Sony? Are you not in my...
Right there.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah, this little floof right here. For those of you not watching and only listening, there was a little fluff ball going around.
Probably belongs to Mushi.
Yeah, it's probably a Mushi hair. But anyway, I've realized that our public service as millennials or just adults is to go to the mall so that 20-year-olds that work at these stores have practice communicating with people. That's the service we bring to them. Good Lord. Every store I went into, hey, can I help you? And they were so happy when I said no. When I was like, no, I'm just looking around. They're like, hey, yeah. And then they'd walk away, and I remember they'd look at their manager and be like, I did it. You know, I talked to the guy. I'm going to go sit in the break room.
Did you ever work retail?
No,
like
but
actual customer-facing retail?
Waiter.
Okay.
Yeah, so closest to retail was waiter.
Yeah. What about you, Emma?
No.
No?
No, you worked at first of all, you were a caricature artist at a theme park.
Is that retail?
It's not retail, but you're
you're
dealing
talking
with
to
the
people.
I
customer.
thought retail was just clothes.
Yeah, it kind of is. Speak into that mic.
Is that retail?
Well, I was
Is that right?
trying to be subtle. I apologize.
You're like Eric Menendez on the stand. Remember we watched that episode where he couldn't get close enough? Did you watch the series?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
I want to look up if this was real, but like when his brother Lyle crushed it on the stand, and then Eric goes up, and he's either too close to the mic and it pops, or he's too far away, and he can't be in the right spot. So his entire first 10 minutes on stand is like, talk to my dad, or it would be like this, talk to my dad, and then they're like, just stand still. And he's like, all right. What was that?
Yeah, that scene dragged.
That scene took forever. Also, I was on a 5 milligram. So for a second, I thought, when you're on edibles and you watch a movie, you always think everything is a sketch to mess with you. Like, just like Emily in Paris's hat or Eric Menendez messing with the mic. It seemed like, or remember how I looked at you and I'm like, all the characters in the show have long speeches. Like long speeches, monologues.
Yeah, it's funny when you said that. I'm like, oh, he's high, because I didn't think that.
You're like, we just started the show.
It's the opening credits. Calm down. Have a coffee.
Caffeine high. That's what we're going to call this episode. But anyway, backtracking, I'm at the store and I'm talking to these young 20-year-olds that are learning to communicate. And I was at Levi's and I found a jacket I wanted, but I couldn't find it in medium. So this girl that works there comes up to me and she's like, can I help you? And I was like, yes, actually. And she's like, God damn it. Like, I could see the look on her face, like, I don't want to help. And I was like, do you have this in medium? And she scanned it with her phone and checked inventory. And she's like, it says we should have a medium out here. And then
Anything else I can do for you? Okay. That happened to me at a Levi's store.
Oh, yeah.
Same exact thing happened. Yeah.
And then she took off.
Yeah.
So this girl stayed.
Sure.
And then me and her are looking through the coats, looking for medium. And then it got to the point where we've realized we've looked through all the coats. There is no medium here. And instead of going like, I guess there isn't one, she just drifted away from the situation. Once it was getting down to the, like, we've looked at all the coats, she just started disappearing, and that was her goodbye. So I've learned that a lot of people in their 20s don't know how to enter a conversation, but they have a way harder time leaving a conversation. They're just like, I'll just fade to black like an old movie.
She's going to close the browser. I can just leave, right? Yeah, kids suck.
She left the Zoom meeting like that. She's like, well, I'm out of here now.
She just did this as she walked in. She goes, okay.
It would have been
Scurried away.
It would have been less weird if she even said okay, or just said any type of anything, made a noise like, huh. Like I would have taken, huh. But she just, I just watched her disappear out of my peripheral. Well, I was like, oh, all right, I guess we're done. And I was like, yeah.
I got a good I don't know at a Levi's store in Times Square recently, 2 weeks ago. I asked her, could you have this and whatever? And you're like, oh, I don't know. I was like, well, then who does? If you don't know, you are the knowing. You have the tag on your body.
They made you wear all the clothes.
I know. You're wearing the entire outfit. That's my size.
It's really embarrassing at those other stores like Zara where their clothes are a little wild and they dress those people up in that crap. And it's the worst advertisement for their brand.
It's really bad.
I just see some guy wearing like size XL cargo pants with like a belt up to here and then the pant legs up to here like on mine. But then white socks and some giant shoes. And you're like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm at the wrong store apparently.
Zoltan hits Zara.
I found like one shirt in there I like, but then now everything is they just want
boxy.
Yeah, it's boxy because the clothes are for children, and
it's
now
made out of flash paper.
Yeah,
magicians use to make a rabbit appear. It's made out of tracing paper. That stuff is terrible.
It's bad clothes.
This episode brought to you by Zara.
I mean, listen, if they want to sponsor the show, I'll wear that crap.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to put on this clown suit. And I'm like, sure. I guess I'm already doing comedy.
Yeah, if they made bed sheets, it'd be 2 count. It's just 2 pieces of thread.
Why does this top sheet have pockets in it? Just giant pockets.
Well, that would be great. I'd love to have someone to put my hands in bed. It's actually a great idea.
That would be really nice.
Because I tuck them under my back at night when I'm
Like
laying
a
down.
comforter with pockets. That
Yeah.
would be dope.
A snuggie comforter? A snumforter?
For the record, I invented this by making fun of something.
I
Yeah.
own 10%.
Yeah. I'm like Ehrlich from Silicon. I own 10%. I invented that. Yeah.
This is an incubator for bad ideas. So. That's actually a great name for a show. Bad Idea Incubator.
Yeah. I remember Monica Nevi, a comedian friend of mine, had a podcast called Bad Pitches. So it's like every comedian's worst idea that they've ever had.
I like it.
Yeah. And I remember mine was I don't know if I've ever told this story. I think I told you because I did the podcast and then I told you what the pitch was and you're like, oh my God. But when I was very new to LA, I did like a horrible bringer show, but I did well on it. And this lady came up to me and gave her a card. She was a literary agent for ICM. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, if you ever have a script or anything, feel free to send it to me. And I thought that meant I have to go write a script tonight and send it to her in the morning. Otherwise, I'm going to blow my opportunity.
Yeah.
And I stayed up all night to write this 13-page script that I sent over. It was about a pimp with unattractive sex workers. And he decides...
I am in, by the way. This is a great idea. I'm not even kidding. That's so funny.
He finds a way to be successful by marketing to the blind. And the entire, it's 13 pages. I just remember I didn't know how to end it. So it ended in a dance sequence with all.
So stupid. I love it.
I stayed up all night, and then at 8 a.m., shoom, sent that off. And she responded like the next week going, I can't do anything with this. I'm sweating. That was so uncomfortable.
Can I ask you 2 follow-up questions?
Oh, please,
Do you still know who this person is?
I can find the email.
Please find the email. And 2, do you have a copy of the script still? Because if so,
I'm sure it's in the email.
next week's episode is a dramatic reading of Pimps Up, Hose Down by Zoltan.
You know what the worst thing is while you're gonna read it, you're gonna find out that like I don't know the right yours and theirs. Like there's also gonna be all it's just full of like grammatical errors. Oh my! What was I thinking? I was 21. And I was just like, I'm gonna loot. This is my opportunity. I gotta show her what I got.
So good.
I can't give it a couple months or a week even. I gotta stay up all night.
The fact
you
that,
gotta be
that
fresh.
the fact that she actually read it and got back to you is incredible. Honestly, that's like the most. I hope this person is in charge of ICM.
She's probably in charge of Netflix, which is why I'm not on there.
I had
I remember the script.
I had a manager that asked me to send scripts over. She goes, "Oh, send a script, but print them out because it's easier for us to read. Like, you know what I mean, like that." I was like, "Okay, great." I went and bought reams of paper to make copies of this 190-page screenplay.
Oh, good
I
one.
bought Brads for the thing because I saw that's what you do. You put Brads. So I went and found Brads, put it in.
The little metal things to like combine.
Little V brass things.
Yeah.
Next meeting, brought in copies for everybody.
Wow.
And then she goes, "Oh, this is great. Can you do me a favor, actually? Can you email this? Because it's just easier for us to read on the email." I was like, "Oh, you don't even, you're just lip servicing me."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, nobody's going to read any of this, no matter how I send it to you." I was so bad.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Mike.
That movie, by the way, Wolf of Wall Street. So her loss, turns out.
That movie, by the way, Rocky.
Rocky
I am
17.
I am Sylvester Stallone.
Rocky's 90 years old. I think I could do it.
That's so funny. Yeah, the amount of work we put in for things that end up being nothing. Like I told you, you were talking about all the work you put in to try to pitch to these writers to write about Safe Journal and put them in catalogs and stuff. And then I told you like what I did to try to get on the road back in 2010 is I think I went to a comedy seminar, how to become a professional comedian.
Love it.
And he was like, "Hey, put together like a press kit with your DVD and like your headshot, and then you mail it out to these like there's road bookers around the country, and this is what you do." And so I sent out like, I don't know, 15 handmade folders with like my mom had a photo printer, like a high quality, so I was like printing out headshots. I used every bit of ink she had. It was over. And then I printed out all these folders, mailed them out, and I got one gig from it. All that mailing, I got one gig. It was $250 to perform in Topeka, Kansas at Jeremiah Bullfrogs. And my flight was $400, and I spent the night at a Motel 6, and I ate a Larry the Cable Guy TV dinner in the microwave that I got at the Super Walmart across the street.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, the amount of work that went in to that gig at Jeremiah Bullfrogs, it's really worthless.
But at the moment, though,
it was the biggest thing I've ever done.
there you go. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's just that's that little bit of fuel to get you to the next station, you know?
It's pretty amazing.
Truth be told, that gig actually led to a lot of stuff because that started my relationship with Chuck Johnson, who ended up being my college agent down the road and got me some really great gigs. And it started my relationship because I opened for Jen Kober, who then had me open for at the San Jose Improv and then had me open at Flappers. And I think working at Flappers, I opened for another guy, Don Friesen, who ended up getting me Dry Bar. Which Dry Bar launched my ticket selling abilities. So actually that folder went a long way.
I mean, it's all of it.
Yes,
You're
all
in
of
New
it.
York because of that folder. If you really traced it back,
Oh, that if you want to
right?
go that's
I'm
true.
saying like
yeah.
your whole
Yeah.
career is kind of thanks to that
Oh
folder.
my God, I started that to make fun of what a dumb thing that was. And that was actually very helpful.
Huh, therapy session.
That was therapy.
I hope on the way home, all you're listening to in your ears are, "Jeremiah was a bullfrog." Jeremiah Bullfrog. That was the
I
name
didn't
of
know
the
that was a song.
You never heard Jeremiah the Bullfrog?
Who sings that?
Jeremiah and the Bullfrogs? I don't know.
Oh, I don't. Do you know that song? I don't know that song.
You have to know that song.
Maybe I never knew the lyrics. You know how like there's like famous songs and then you're like, is that what they were singing?
Hoyt Hoyt. No, Three Dog Night.
Oh, Three Dog Night I've heard
Yeah.
of. Jeremiah something bullfrog, baby. Is it like that?
Jeremiah.
Almost. I'm trying to play it, but it's not
I
coming
don't know
up.
if you could tell my confidence was going up as I was singing the lyrics. So at the end, I was like, right? That was good. And then,
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. And if I were the king of air, I'd tell you what I say. Dun, 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 dun. You don't know this song.
No.
Maybe I'm not singing it right. Hold on. This is crazy. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Three Dog Night.
I know that band. I've heard that band name. Don't they have another famous song?
They have a lot of famous songs.
Yeah. The one about the thing? Nothing.
It's a good song, though.
Don't play too much because we're playing ads.
That's a good point, yeah. Joy to the World is the name of that song.
Never heard of that.
Joy to the world, all the boys and girls.
I know that other joy.
All the
Joy
fishes
to the
and the
world.
people sing.
The singing starts. Here come the farts. What a goofy episode. How are we doing on time? I feel like we're
48?
we're getting there. Well, let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Did you have anything coming in hot?
Nope.
Mike, we talked about your movie.
Yeah.
I talked about my dry butthole.
Which is also the name of the movie, Blood Mountain Massacre. If you wipe too hard. I apologize.
So sorry, everybody.
Sometimes I like to play connect the dots in my head, and that's where they need to stay, is in the old noodle.
I wrote this down. Do you ever think about how you want to bald? Like the pattern? Or like, do you ever see like someone, because I've been thinking about this, and I've realized that I want to bald like Michael Keaton or Bruce Willis circa Pulp Fiction. Like that's, like you ever see a recent photo of Michael Keaton? Here, I'll show you. And that if I got to lose my hair, I'd like to bald like Michael Keaton as opposed to like George Costanza or something.
Oh, we just get like the sides go back with the middles solid
But you
all
still
the way
got
through.
one strip
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
front,
yeah.
you know?
I want to go opposite of male pattern. I want to keep the top, but just bald from the bottom up.
Like a cool
like
Like a
hairstyle.
fade. Yeah, like a fade.
Like you had brain surgery. Like, yeah, that never grew back. Yeah, like this.
But you got to keep it
Okay.
short, you know?
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah,
you
he's
can't
not.
try to grow it out.
Yeah, he's
when you
not.
have
He's
that.
not. He's not growing it out.
Isn't that how most people bald?
No, some people have different. Like
I
you
think
look
it's just the way
at.
people react to their baldness is what it
Yeah,
They swoop it, they swish it, they comb it. It's like just buzz it
Costanza.
down. Just buzz her down.
yeah, like that's not the good. Because
Oh, yeah, you're right.
like I don't want the type of balding where it's like make a decision,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where it's like, dude, just be there or don't be there.
Yeah.
You know.
I look at the front of my hair all the time, like, when is it gonna go? But
Well, I
don't
mean, I
think
have,
it's
I have
gonna
the
go.
biggest forehead on the planet.
Yeah.
So it's running.
Been more like a 5-head.
Yeah, I've always had a 5-head. You ever look at my mom? My mom's got a giant forehead. It's hereditary.
You should tell her that.
I'm sure she's listening.
No, she didn't listen to this
She
show.
does.
Does she?
She said she listens.
Oh, I love you. I love you so much, Mom.
Thank you for your printer.
Thank you for your printer.
Oh, your $600.
Yeah,
for the printing.
I used so much ink that I did not replace because I couldn't. That was so expensive, like a high-end printer ink for photos. I don't even know what she was printing. Why would she have that? Like a professional level photo printer in a trailer. Like what? I don't even know why she bought
Your
it.
mom also has like 250 colors of gel pens.
Oh
All
yeah,
stacked perfectly. Like,
might be a little OCD.
It's like having a safe in a trailer. What do you got in there?
She doesn't have a safe. She hides cash in Tupperwares.
It's like having a Wi-Fi on a Greyhound. What do you got? Stocks to trade? No, you don't. Knock it off.
You got to sign into your burner account so you can meet up with that youth. You weird pedophile. That's who's riding a Greyhound. Oh man, yeah. I think about I think Michael Keaton looks like he always looks like he just got done writing a book. You know, he's so trendy and cool looking. Have you watched the new Beetlejuice?
Loved it.
Loved it. I haven't watched it yet.
I mean, it's nostalgic. It's a good storyline.
It makes sense
It
with
makes
the
sense, yeah.
it
If
all
you're
works.
expecting the same thing out of Beetlejuice from the first one, you're not going to get it because it's just not the first one. But I thought it was really great.
Good.
Saw it in theaters, laughed.
Did you watch the new Joker?
No.
Yeah,
I'm
everyone's
upset.
hating it.
Yeah, I know. I wish I didn't hear it. I should have seen it night one, but
I kind of still want to see it because
I'm going to see it for sure.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of movies that I think people hate, and I'm like, then I have to shut up and be like, oh, I don't like that.
I love telling people about movies I like that they hate.
Really?
It's my favorite thing when someone goes, I hated that. I'm like, well, you're dumb. You just don't get it, dude. Although I like almost every movie. It's tough for me to get a bad review on a movie.
Because
I had a good time. $8, 2 hours in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
What'd you do? You had a popcorn? You watched a movie? Oh, no, you didn't love it? Grow up.
Exactly.
Go watch Star Wars for the
People
900th
worked hard
time,
on
you
this.
loser.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
you know who changed my ideology on bad movies is Patton Oswalt. On his comedy album Werewolves and Lollipops, he talks about a movie called Deathbed, the bed that eats people,
Sure.
which I've actually watched. It was a movie that never got released in the 70s. It was about this demon-possessed bed in this castle in the middle of the woods that these teenagers keep going out and having sex on, and then the bed would just absorb them and kill them. And it was a terrible movie. It was so bad that it never got a release in the 70s. And then when Netflix was doing the DVD mailing out, it got a release through that.
It's amazing.
And so I listened to that joke, and my roommate at the time, Justin Decker's like, I got the thing coming. We're going to watch it. And we watched it, and it's bad. It's as bad as he says, but like his angle on it was like, people built sets. Like there was a guy making the deathbed, probably tore his rotator cuff, making this bed for this movie. There was someone catering. They had nice bagels with schmear, so all the cast and crew could have food, so they could have the energy to make deathbed.
And I got driving people back and forth to set. Yeah.
People stayed at hotels. They got cast and they went back to their parents and they're like, I got a role. I'm going to be in this horror movie. And then
what's it called? It's called Deathbed. What's that? Oh, sorry, my phone's breaking up. Forgot to put a quarter in because it was back then.
Because it was back then. But yeah, I don't know. I try to think of that like when a movie's bad. I'm like, a lot of people worked hard on that. Let's give it a shake. You know?
That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
You're going to have fun.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I watch a bad comedian. Yeah, grow up. Exactly. Grow up. There's a guy back there working.
You never made nothing.
Yeah.
I love people that don't do nothing, ain't about nothing. I don't like the way. Shut up. Just shut up. Go have a cold cup of water and think about what you've done. I apologize. This pumpkin spice has now peaked me, and now I'm falling down the other. I'm on the other end of this.
I'm crumbling
pumpkin
down.
Spice buzz.
I'm crumbling down the sugar high.
I am.
into rapid depression. Well, that's probably a good place to wrap it up. I have shows coming up all over the place. If you go to zoltancomedy.com, I realized this past weekend I'm traveling too much because I was just in Madison, Wisconsin at Comedy on State, which is arguably the best club I've ever been to. Amazing green room, amazing club, everything amazing. And I went on stage and I was like, it's so good, cool to be here. It's my first time in Madison. And I had people come up to me afterwards going, you were here last year. You played at another venue. You played at the Majestic. And I was like, ah. And I usually when someone says something like that, a memory will come up about the show, about the venue, about nothing. No, I think you were with me. I think we went together.
Oh, really?
And I don't remember it. Nothing. A guy even referenced, yeah, remember you made that joke about Iron Man and the parking? And then I just went, and then I said, yeah. And then I looked at Steven Rogers, my opener. I'm like, I don't remember. I don't remember any of this. None of that. So that was kind of scary. That actually shows how much I'm traveling that I don't remember an entire town that I went to once. But
I believe it.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. But anyway, come see me at these towns. If you go to zoltancomedy.com.
Come watch us create even better memories.
Yes.
In Madison.
Yeah. We're going to, I feel so bad because it must have been a good show. I guess it was a good show. I don't know. But zoltancomedy.com for tour dates. New York City, November 15th, the Gramercy Theater. Big Man Mike's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Emma's going to come by, I think. You're going to come by. Yeah, come. We're here. Why not come? Why would you stay home?
The weirdest one to stay home for.
It's a subway ride. I don't want it.
I've seen your act.
But yeah, go buy tickets to that. And don't forget to get a Safe Journal, safejournal.co. TWIZ at checkout. Follow all of us on social media except for Emma. She doesn't want the attention.
Yeah, don't follow me.
Don't follow Emma, but follow Big Man Mike on all the socials and me at Zoltan Comedy. And I think that's the show for this week. That was great. I'm going to give each, you know what? Good job, team.
Cheers.
All around. Cheers.
Pumpkin spice. Bye, everybody.
Trekking heavy or traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go.